to middle age, you see. I mean,
I've heard about this.
some people get this thing about how they've got to get fit and, you know, start jogging every day and all the rest of it. Our guitar player does it incessantly, you know, and has lost a vast amount of weight and looks, you know, terrific, except that he's so knackered at the end of the day that he stands on stage too tired to do anything. Whereas I make sure I don't do anything physical all day until it's, I mean, my 2-hour workout is when I go and do a concert. The original Jethro Tull fans have got more pressing things on their minds at the moment, like paying off the mortgage and the second car and, you know, kids to buy clothes for and things. So, I mean, there is that turnover. There are always kids coming in at the lower end of the spectrum, which is, I mean, is great, except you can sound very condescending when you say, yeah, it's nice to have these kids coming and listen to some decent music or whatever. It's not that. It's just, it's nice to think that our audience has always been in the 15 to 25 age group for the most part. I mean, there are some younger and there are some older, but the body of them are the, you know, late teens, very early 20s. The directors had a hard job because they come in with preconceived ideas about me, particularly as a performer. Most people say, oh, yes, of course, Jethro Tull would be great on video because they're such a visual group, but it's completely opposite. If I was a video director, I'd be looking for the guy who just kind of stood there and had a pretty face or was a blank canvas on which I, as a director, could make a picture. I wouldn't want something that was too loud and grand and too Laurence Olivier of the pop world, which is maybe how I would tend to come across. Being a video artist is terrific. I mean, if you actually have something to say and a good director and a good idea for a video, but I mean, there's always a danger. I mean, a lot of the people who are getting into video, because it's such a competitive thing to get your product across to a big audience as quickly as possible. It's incredibly competitive. A lot of the directors who are in it are all trying to remake Ben-Hur in 3.5 minutes, and there's this complex about telling a story. And our video is, I mean, no exception. I mean, lovely guy who directed it, but he really wanted to make it a sort of, you know, some kind of a Ealing comedy B-movie, you know, from 20 years ago. I mean, he's trying to tell a story, and I actually think it gets in the way of the music. I prefer something more abstract, or it should be more of a performance-oriented thing. But I personally find that trying to tell a story, sequential events, fast-cutting, is actually, you know, a bit sort of daunting. It's too much happening.
It doesn't seem too literal. I mean, it's very whimsical and somewhat cynical, what we might expect.
As I was saying, it's a terrific video. I mean, it's great, yeah. It was a great pleasure making it. What I do on stage, let an aspect of my personality come to the fore. But you see, I don't go to parties, I don't get drunk, I don't take drugs, you know, other than whatever this is, cup of coffee, you know, that's my limit. So, I mean, what I do on stage is let that guy out, that side of me out. Other people, you know, as I'm fond and sometimes not so fond of witnessing, you know, go crazy when they, at the weekends, you know. Or when they go to the beach and things. I mean, so being on stage is your weekend? If you like, yeah. The nearest thing to it, anyway, because I'm one of those people who tends to work weekends and works every night. Once I used to join in every boy and girl was my friend. Now there's revolution, but they don't know what they're fighting. Let us close our eyes, outside their lives, go on much faster. Oh, keep on giving, we'll keep living in the past.
How do you find the musical environment in England now? Is it all too fashion conscious for you, as compared with when you were first coming out?
It always was fashion conscious, but I don't think that really matters with bands. If you're not born pretty, you know, it doesn't really make a light of difference, because, I mean, if you're born ugly, as I was, I mean, on our first album, which was 15 years ago, called This Was, I mean, we were all dressed like, looking like old men on the cover, and people actually assumed we were in our 40s, at least. And, I mean, nowadays, people say, hey, you look a lot younger than you used to do, you know, which is terrific. I'm only 37, so I'm like 3 years ahead of where I was when I started.
The Dorian Gray of rock and roll, huh?
Yeah, but fashion has nothing to do with it. We were never a fashionable band, even when we were sort of becoming important, you know, if you like, internationally in sort of 71, 72, when we were sort of reaching a sort of peak of, you know, everybody getting to hear about the band and getting excited about the band. We were still not fashionable in the sense that we set any trends in clothing or behavioral styles. We didn't reflect anything that was going on. You know, we hated hippies, so we weren't part of that culture. We didn't take drugs. We weren't anything to do with that. We were just totally out on our own somewhere, you know, and that's a nice place to be, and probably one of the reasons we've survived, because we were never actually on any bandwagon in the first place. So we never fell off.